Hello and welcome. My name is Arun Dhanta and today we are bringing to you a very special topic from Bihar elections. We all know elections are the cornerstone of the Indian democracy, and the discussion in the election should be around Vikas. But what is happening in Bihar elections, that the discussion is happening about songs which are vulgar, violent in nature and propagating a culture which is not good for any elections or for any state. So we will be discussing deeply about this song culture, how it is being used in the state. We all know, of course, in Bihar, caste and politics are inseparable. You cannot divide them. And it has a history that whenever elections are there, this is one of the mediums that candidates use Bhojpuri songs to campaign. Sometime just to, create image for themselves through that songs, and also sometimes to attack the opposition. We have seen all of that in the past, but this time around the choices of songs is something which is creating a huge talk of the town topic in Bihar, and in fact on social media also. People are talking about that this is a signal towards the Jungle Raj which state had witnessed many years back if RJD had come to power. There are few songs which I will just put forth before you, which is being used in the campaigning, especially by the RJD candidates. One of the songs is that RJD Sarkar Banto, Yadav Rangdar Banto. So this is one of the songs saying that if RJD forms the government, Yadavs will become dominant. This is one of the songs which is being used. And there's another song that Lalu is Laltin and Tejaswi is oil, and they will burn everybody else. In fact, they're also naming the likes of Prime Minister Chirag Paswan and others in that song. And there's another song which says Ahir is dominating. There were only Ahirs and there will only be Ahirs. So these are the songs which is really being talked about, being used in this election campaign in Bihar, and therefore people are saying that this should not happen during the election campaigning. As we've discussed about the history of Bhojpuri songs being used in the campaigning in Bihar, that's fine. But when you have such songs being used, this sends a message to the state and the electorate that if this party will come to power, this is how the government will look like, and that's something which is going to happen in the state, and that's probably a challenge for the election watchdog. Also, election commission really needs to get into here. There needs to be some action against these parties, these candidates who are using such songs in their campaign, because this does not send a very good message. On one side, where there are parties who are talking about social harmony, sabka saath and sabka vikas, these sort of songs create a divide in the society, and this divide is sometimes on the basis of religion and also importantly on the basis of caste. So that's how these political parties and candidates are dividing voters on the basis of caste and religion by putting forth such songs. So these are the things which is being discussed on social media and also amongst the people in the state. What is happening, this of course portrays a very negative message. We know Bihar has been a very caste-centric election. We have seen it over the years. That's okay. If people vote on the basis of their caste, that's their right, their prerogative. But on the part of candidate, it's their duty that they ensure that they do not send out any message which is dividing the society through in any which way, whether it is through songs or reels or the usage of social media. This is something which is the most disturbing part of this election. And as we've also discussed about the role of election commission here, that of course is going to be very important. There are certain guidelines from the election commission side, and they of course will be monitoring all these things as to how campaigning is happening, which candidate is doing what, and how these songs are being used. In some songs there are clear lines which talks about the gun culture in Bihar. All these things should be monitored by Election Commission, and there needs to be action on the ground against these people to send a right message across that election watchdog is very much active and they are doing their duty up to the mark.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.